Now let's get into arguably, we can say the biggest game of the weekend. It's Manchester City. They are 90 minutes away from wrapping up the league trophy now. And I know Arsenal fans will not want to watch this one. And they're hoping for that favour from Chelsea. A Chelsea that have had quite a wobbly season. They've had their own moments. Graham Potter to Frank Lampard. It's just not worked for Chelsea so far. And it's first against 11th. Man City top, obviously. They have been pursued by Arsenal. And for Chelsea, they are 11th on the league log. City with 27 wins so far all season, with 4 drawn games and 4 defeats. They have a goal difference of plus 61 so far. A good one there under Pep Guardiola. For Chelsea, season almost done and dusted. There's that no European football next season for them. 11th on the league log. They've won 11 games all season. They've drawn 10 with 14 defeats. And I'm sure Frank Lampard would have wanted to make this game to be a top liner where maybe Chelsea are fighting for the trophy. But no, it's Man City rather they just need to wrap up this one and then win the title. For Chelsea, it's more like, okay, let's just play for pride at the Etihad Sports Stadium. And it's a venue where Chelsea in recent times don't really do well at Etihad. And it's a dreadful grounds for the away teams, I know, right? Even the Real Madrids don't get it easy when they face Manchester City there. Can Chelsea spoil the party? Exactly. It tells you how solid they are at the Etihad. Guys, let's look at whether Chelsea can be that team to try and make Manchester City wait a bit longer. Can they cause havoc to this? It's Chelsea.
The mistake you are both making is that there's a very huge possibility that City could be champions even on Saturday.
When Arsenal...
Nottingham Forest can beat Arsenal. Are you?
Nottingham Forest away?
They are playing at home to Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
No, it's not. So Arsenal are going to Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yes, on Saturday, 4:30.
Okay,
There's a possibility that City could be champions on Saturday. We are not looking
in fact,
at that.
Even if Arsenal draw,
So let me
Even
take
if
your
Arsenal
thoughts.
draw,
Let me
City
take
need
your
a
thoughts on
draw.
that.
Yeah, if Arsenal draw, it becomes that
the goal difference is so big
Yes.
that City will have to lose their next few games by an average of is it about
6.
5-6 goals to lose.
Sure. So Ellie, get into it now. We've seen this Chelsea team under Frank Lampard have all the issues that they've had. This is a season where I know Chelsea fans will cancel the season from their records, because if they had a choice, they'll be like, this season doesn't count for us as a football club now. Here they are. Yes, you've alluded to the fact that Man City could be champions even before they face Chelsea. But let's look at the fact that Arsenal, huge favourite to beat Nottingham Forest. Then
Yes.
City have to beat Chelsea then. Can Chelsea be that team to make City wait a little bit longer?
In February 2019,
Yeah.
I was listening to City FM a lot during that period. And before the City-Chelsea game that season, Coach Nimley made a submission.
is it that you don't listen?
No.
No, you have to listen always.
Coach Nimley made a submission before that City-Chelsea game. I think before that game, you should play that submission, because everything he said before that game, he predicted a 6-0 win for City. City won 6-0.
Yeah.
It's just that it could be worse this time. It could be 8-9. The result, I think, with this game on Sunday, the result will depend on how many City want to score.
Wow.
If
So
City decide
how many City wants to score?
want to score,
So if City wants to hit Chelsea for 5, they can do that.
you see, Pichichi, this season, especially this season, when big teams visit the Etihad, they are not in control of what happens on the pitch. That is how it's been. And I was saying this. I've been saying this since since United went there. That City this season at the Etihad are a different team altogether. When you watch them away from home, they've not been dominating it. They've just been getting by. Actually, out of the 18, 17 games they've played away this season, they've dominated, I think, only 8 or... I don't think they've even dominated half of those games.
Watch how they had to struggle at Fulham.
You watch them at Fulham, you watch them even at Palace, where they had to get a penalty through Erling Haaland. That game could have gone anywhere. Many of the away games this season, they've just gone by. They've not really dominated. But when they play at home, most of the times they blow you away. Especially in the big games. United conceded 6. Liverpool conceded 4. Arsenal conceded 4. Spurs conceded 4. If I could add Real Madrid, they conceded 4. Leipzig conceded 7.
You just had to add Real
Bayern
Madrid
conceded 3.
Yeah.
these results they don't come by any
And
coincidence.
just remember that most of those games also, the other team didn't score.
Yeah. And you see, and the thing is, they are not just scoring goals. They are when you play them at the Etihad, like I said, things happen that you are not in control of.
They are dissecting you.
They are coming through you and they are breaking you down. They are breaking your spirit. I've never felt inferior to any team like I was when Arsenal faced City. You cannot even be annoyed when you lose to City when you lose to them at the Etihad, because
Before the game, you just knew this was too much for us.
in the last 3 days I've been listening to Madrid media a lot, and till today I was listening to them. They couldn't, and they still can't understand what happened on Wednesday. They've lost by bigger margins than 4-0. They've lost 5, but this kind of victory, the gap in quality between the two sides was very evident. And this is a team they faced last year. You understand?
Yeah.
So this season, what is happening at Etihad, it is beyond words. They are blowing teams away. And this Chelsea side is not going to be any different. Maybe fatigue might set in. They might decide not to put the handbrake on. They might decide not to go into second gear. But if City really go for it, if they want to have fun, if they feel like setting a record by scoring the most goals in a game, they can very well do it. Everything that will happen in the game on Sunday will depend on what City wants. Chelsea do not have a say in this game.
Wow.
This is an autocratic game. Chelsea do not have a say in the game at all.
Well, that's
I actually like that.
That's very interesting. I like
Autocratic game.
It's for him. I think,
Oh, Chelsea do not have a say in this game.
and I'm sure Chelsea fans will want to finish this game with some sort of pride.
But I think
They wouldn't love it if maybe City hits them for 8 or 9 or 10.
I don't see that happening. Because
But Ellen, you're
Chelsea
saying
have
that
the third best
City
defense
decides
in the
how
league.
much
No,
they
that's
score.
what I'm saying. Chelsea have the third best defense in the league. So I don't expect them to concede a lot. Their problem is that they don't score. You see, and they won't score. That's their problem. Their goals
So
don't
Chelsea will not score.
it's more.
That'll be tough for them to score.
Yeah, it's very tough for them.
But how many do you think City will get to score? How many goals?
I think 2-0, 3-0.
Two. But 2 is quite reasonable. I think 2 is quite.
Look, I think once City take the lead.
That's what I'm saying. If they put the handbrake on, if they say okay, they are not going to.
I think
if they want to just
they are
have
there
fun.
to do a professional job.
The
and
Pep
get
Guardiola
their
I know is not satisfied with even a 6-0 scoreline. At 6, he wants a 7th goal. At 7, he wants the 8th
but that's the
goal.
thing. Is it that he wants a big result, or he just wants to win his title?
Exactly.
It's the mentality they are going to get. I understand what Eli said, but I'm thinking that the mentality will be, let's get our results, go home, and
We have
end
two
this
finals
season.
to play.
We have 2 finals to play. I think that's the mentality. Just let's get our result and go home, take our title.
Let's create this situational analysis here. If there's a way for Chelsea to stop Man City, how would that be? What should they do? If there's any way Chelsea can stop Man City from winning this game.
I'll be very honest. I don't think Frank Lampard has the tactical know-how to set up a game plan to win the game anyway. So there's no point discussing hypotheticals. It's not going to happen. I think Lampard, aside the game, has damaged his reputation severely by taking this Chelsea job and being so poor. I think their poor run reflects worse on him than anything that happened at Everton. I think when he was at Everton, everyone understood that Everton are not a great squad. They are going to struggle. Sean Dyche has struggled as well. It's not that Sean Dyche has had it easy. So it's not like everyone expected him to, be challenging for Europe with Everton. But I think you get this Chelsea team. You are saying that Graham Potter is not good enough, and you come in, you are actually worse. The team actually declines even more. I think it doesn't look good for his managerial career, because I'm wondering who is going to hire him after this. And I'm not just saying it to be disrespectful or joke around. Like, it's a serious question.
It's a serious question. It's
He
a
has
serious
to think.
conversation.
It's a serious thing that he may have damaged his reputation irreparably by coming and taking this job and doing it so poorly. Because I think a lot of the games, they looked even worse. They look clueless. You have players coming to complain about the club, and it just looks bad. So I already don't quite rate Frank Lampard as a coach.
So you won't even get into the analysis
I
of
don't
how
think
to
there's.
stop
I
Man
don't think
City.
it's.
There's no way.
See, if Susu says he won't get into that, Ellie, let me pick your thoughts. Is there a way for Lampard to try to beat or even get a point from Pep Guardiola's Man City?
Maybe if the City players, the City 11 drink a ton of beer before the game or something. Maybe that's the only way. No, there's no way. If you are talking about things within Chelsea's control. I
And I
don't
think-
see any way they are going to set up that
And
they are not going to get
let's
beat.
even add
They
that
want
the
to set
Chelsea.
up ultra defensive.
No, let's even add that the Chelsea team, there's no cohesion. There's too many new players. They don't have enough time because there's so many players. The manager is under pressure to rotate. So they are not even settling and creating partnerships to know how to play with each other.
I stand to be corrected, but I don't think they've even maintained a lineup for 2 or 3 games this season.
But how can you? Because there's so many people who want to play, who can and should be. Let me not say should, but can play. There's a lot of players in that team that if you were to spread them around the Premier League, would be getting significant game time, right?
Yeah.
And you have them all in one team. They're about what? 30, 35 players. We've spoken about this before. The squad is too big. So there's no cohesion. I think the team spirit is not even there because there are so many. It's like, how can you get a team spirit when you are like 40, 45? The more people you are, the easier it is to be strangers. You get what I'm saying? So it's just everything is just not in place for Chelsea to play in this game. Now, if it's the same players, they've had some time with their manager, they've kind of got together. There's some we can see a pattern. You know what to expect. You know who plays where, who does what. Then you can say, okay, you sit back, you clog the space up, you mark Haaland out of the game. This is for teams that are settled. You kind of make it difficult for Haaland to get the ball because you know that you can't stop City from getting the ball, but you can maybe stop Haaland. Kind of make it difficult for him. Look, we saw what Rudiger did. You kind of man-mark him, be very physical, make it difficult for him to get enough time and space to make things happen. Then you focus on playing on the counter, trying to find space in behind, let them come on you and break with pace. We've seen it work for other teams. We've seen teams get results that way. But we are saying that if you look at Chelsea as constructed, the organization and the discipline and the tactical cohesion needed to create those conditions for it to happen are just not there.
So finally,
Final thoughts
I
on this
end
one.
with this. What is Chelsea's motivation for this game?
Pride.
Oh, come on.
If
City
we-
are playing to win a title.
Yeah.
If
Chelsea are
it was
playing for
if
pride
it
as
was
well.
pride,
playing
if it
to
was
win a
pride,
title.
they wouldn't be where they
Yeah,
were.
they should wait for their last game at Stamford Bridge.
So you guys are writing them off entirely. There's no way they are
Totally.
going to stop this party. So that's Susu, Graham, and also Ellie Avotri. They believe that Chelsea cannot be that team
And
to
you know
stop
me,
Man City
I don't
this
like being
weekend.
very dismissive of teams
Yeah.
like this, but I think this is a unique situation where everything is just off
for
about
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
And the whole relegation thing, I believe maybe there was 20 more games to play, and they were meandering like
could have
this.
been in the
They could have been,
relegation battle.
but it's just that the time has run out on them. I think that's how poor they've been.
I like how Ellie described the game. He says it's an autocratic match. Man City will decide how many goals they want to score. This is the Premier League preview show here on Citi TV. Let's go for another break.